Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another after show for Once Upon a Time, Season 4, Episode 7, The Snow Queen. I'm Cathy Kelley. Joining me, as always, the Tiona Hobson.
That's me.
That's you. Oh my gosh, you're here.
Oh my gosh, I'm a real boy. No.
What?
You're a real live boy.
Sitting next to Tiona, Marisa Serafini.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited.
Yes.
You have hair. I was fixing it.
Thank you.
Apologies for coming to you a day late. We had our executive producer's birthday last night, and we had to go to it. And we still watched the episode. I watched it twice, actually, which is kind of nice, because then you actually get to absorb what's going on as opposed to everything just in your face real fast, and you're like, what? You know?
Yeah.
I love your imaginary punching bag that you had there, too. That was real sweet.
It works.
So let's start off with the flashback that we got. We talked about this last week. The three sisters, we were going to see younger versions of them and kind of get their backstory. I still don't think this is the last that we've seen of them. But they're playing with the kite. Ingrid, Helga, and Gerda. That's right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So they're playing with a kite and almost get abducted by some creepy dude, which is, I mean... Where did he come from? Yeah, like they're princesses. Where is their
And just anyone just flying a kite on their property, and then no one is around these young girls who are just following a kite. Also, the whole flying a kite thing, it made me think of Mary Poppins.
Go fly a kite.
I tweeted that. Yeah.
Well, Jana Spenson did say that she wanted to incorporate Mary Poppins.
So I'm
probably
just
not
saying.
the same way.
Subtly.
But
so.
Yeah. I mean, is that like the kite is the modern day van with no windows?
Well, in fairness, back then that's probably all they could do because they don't have internet.
Candy, free candy,
so
kids.
they play outside.
Yeah.
But the fact that, yes, security was very minimum there, if at all. And aren't they royal? So there should have been security there.
Like a guard
someone
or
watching.
something should have been around or...
But
maybe they snuck off.
How creepy of a dude was that, though?
Very creepy. So her two little sisters are almost abducted, and that's what causes Ingrid to use her powers for the first time. She's confused, clearly, by what's going on, but she ends up freezing one of the branches on the tree. It cracks, falls off, hits this abductor, and I think kills him.
Yeah, they
Or
didn't
at
really...
least knocks him out.
Yeah.
They didn't really harp on that, but I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Well, if
But
he's
he had it
not
coming.
dead, when
have
there's
it
always
coming.
that question mark, though, you never know if someone's actually dead.
This is true. They didn't go
because
check him for a pulse.
we do know that secrets have a way of revealing themselves,
That is
True.
something
and we
know.
don't know how that was revealed later. We think it might be, I mean, it could have revealed itself multiple times, like to Gerda and her husband when they were on the boat, whatever it is. We don't know.
I'm a little not confused, but just had questions about why we never had any follow-up of this. Like, did they go tell their parents that they were almost abducted and that Ingrid, froze a branch and it landed on him?
Someone's gonna find this dude eventually.
Did anyone say anything? Is this when security came into play? I don't know.
Well, I think it's just a kept secret between those three girls.
Those three. They didn't tell parents. They didn't say.
yeah.
What did they do with the body?
I mean, it could have just
left
been,
it there.
like, people would be like, oh, that's really strange. Like, this, it looks like a natural accident. No one would think that it was magic.
That's true.
Yes, but it is a secret now between these three girls, and that's what's keeping another bond between them.
They made the sisterly pact. They used the kite ribbons, which is kind of weird because that's the kite from your abductor. They took the three little bows, put them on their wrists, and I don't know why. I just feel like you guys know this. I'm the biggest fan. We're all the biggest fans of Once Upon a Time, but I feel like this season, the writing has been so preachy. Like, okay, this is the lesson that you're going to learn today. You guys, we're sisters, and we are going to keep this secret because that's what you do. Like,
it is. They're really.
But it's a family show.
I
They
know,
have
but
to
in
keep
past
it
seasons it's been
subtle
darker,
anymore.
and I loved season 1, season 2, season 3, where it was more subtle. Like, we knew that there was a lesson in every single episode, but it wasn't as
in your face.
black and white. Like, it wasn't.
It wasn't like we're gonna jump from this scene where they're talking about like we're gonna be great sisters to another scene like in the present day of like I want you to be my new sisters. Like, we didn't used to have it just so.
It's written a little bit younger,
transparent.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand that. But I think the reason why they're playing it out like this, that we are sisters, we have this strong, amazing bond no one can break, it is really to just show that Ingrid's motivation and why she's doing everything now in the present day storybook.
Yeah.
So it just elevates whatever happened in the past.
I just think it's the right. Like, there have been other instances this season, which I can't think of right now, but it's been very similar, where they're literally spelling out the lesson for you, as opposed to in past, we just know, like, oh, magic comes with a price, or...
Do you think that comes with bringing in the Frozen storyline, since
that it's a little bit younger?
It's a
In the
little bit
younger
younger because
demographic.
they know that if you bring in Frozen to this, younger kids are now going to be watching it too.
But it's supposed to be dark. I liked it
I
when it
know.
was dark.
There are some dark elements, I will give it that. Yes.
Like Peter Pan last season, that was creepy.
That was scary.
That was
I
dark.
like that. I want to be scared.
But in fairness, we didn't really have the Frozen young girls really watching that then, at that time.
It's bad to say that I don't want Frozen. I love Frozen. I love me some Frozen. I want my dark stuff back.
She wants Peter Pan
I
back.
think it'll come back.
I think that Rumple's going to get dark again. That's what's going to happen.
Someone's
That's
gonna get dark.
definitely
That's what's
going to happen.
Speaking of Rumple, so the girls, after Ingrid hides at her father's birthday party, she doesn't want to be involved in normal family things because she's so scared of her powers. So the sisters, they see her packing, and they decide to go to this dark sorcerer named Rumpelstiltskin because he can help them figure out a way to get rid of her powers, and she can stay with them, and they can be a happy family.
I want to know where, because it was Greta who said it, and we know that they then have
Gerda?
Gerda, sorry.
Gerda.
I said I before the show started, I said I always want to call her Greta.
Yeah.
Gerda. That was
Gerda.
right. Gerda. She is the one who takes her husband to look for Rumpelstiltskin again to get answers, but she didn't remember doing it the first time. So who is her source that keeps telling her this thing? Because I feel like...
Is it planted,
Yeah, is it
or is it just
planted?
something?
I feel like Rumple's just a name that's password from word of mouth, because when she was mentioning I know sorceress,
She
that
didn't
was
really know much about him.
pretty much the same verbatim that when Anna was telling Bill and all that. So a couple episodes ago. So it feels it's just a word of mouth kind of, especially in Arendelle.
Yeah. It seems like Ingrid's story is very similar to Elsa's. It parallels it almost to
A T.
We just hope that it has a different outcome, obviously, for Elsa. And then it also seemed like the Duke's storyline.
The Duke of Weselton.
Weaselton.
It's
Weaseltown.
Weselton.
Weselton.
That is exactly Hans. He is Hans. Can we,
No, he's
No,
the
he's the
Duke.
Duke.
I know he's not, but the storyline is so similar to Hans.
Yeah. But
way.
Like,
as soon as I-
he's a weasel that he fakes his way into the royal family's heart because he wants to be, in Arendelle, and
That's
I
also
will gotta
kind
say
of-
the casting was spot on for
Yeah,
him.
because that's kind of what happened in the movie too. Like
Yeah.
you could tell he was around in the movie. Like he
Yeah.
knows things. He's like, oh, so the mysterious sister, and
Right.
oh, like
Yeah.
the
Well,
doors are opening.
His character's first line in the film of Frozen was he wanted to be in the power and take over Arendelle. So we know he's gonna do anything to gain that power.
yeah.
When I first saw him, and even the dancing. Guys, the dancing, he danced
awesome.
just like the cartoon.
I know.
It was amazing.
I
I was ready for him to bow.
But when I first saw him, I don't know why this popped in my head, but the Duke from the Cinderella cartoon came into my mind because he wears that one little monocle too.
Right.
So I mean, he kind of looked like him too, except much shorter version. But
Yeah.
But that Duke was brunette.
yeah,
Yeah. So the sisters go to find, just because we're short on time, the sisters go to find Rumpelstiltskin, and they say, take away her magic, and he says, well, you could just use the sisterly bond because that love is stronger than magic. They doubt it. Ingrid mostly doubts it. She wants a failsafe, so he gives them gloves, and he says the faith in these gloves will take away your magic, or not take away them, but kind of
compress.
Conceal.
Conceal it. But he gives them the failsafe, which is the vase urn-looking thing that would contain Ingrid and her powers if needed.
I love how that was just coincidentally there as well. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I also have this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too conveniently placed.
He says all magic comes with a price, which we already know, and then he also tells them that they need to make a deal for these items. He wants their ribbons.
I was surprised that I guess I wasn't surprised that they gave up the ribbons, but I feel like because they gave up the ribbons is why everything turned so quickly. Because
they didn't trust in one another anymore.
yeah, it was like clearly that's why Rumpel wanted it, because there was actually
took away their
magic
sisterly bond,
that in there, because they turned on each other so quick. It was
a symbol.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I liked how Rumpel did explain that even the simplest of items that is, so close to you can have magical
They
properties
can
in
become magical.
it. Yeah. And I thought that was really cool. And I was like, what other things have we seen that are something trivial, but actually could be really magical items?
It also made me kind of question, he said that sisters' love can be almost as powerful as true love, and
That got me thinking.
Well, that was
too.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it got me thinking because Rumpel wanted, to encompass Snow and Charming's true love, at one point too, and create this. And I feel like this is taking place before Snow and all of them and Emma and stuff. So it's like, if he had true love already, why did he need Snow and Charming's true love?
Yeah.
But I don't have the answer.
Yeah.
It feels like
he
the
kept-
different relationships in a family. You
Yeah.
have a husband, wife, and then you have sisters, different aspects.
Well, he held on to those ribbons for a really long time. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's talk about the Duke surprises Ingrid when she has her gloves off. And he says, you are the mysterious one, the mysterious sister. How come I never see you? Comes on to her.
Hard.
Tries to kiss her. Oops, did I tell you you were beautiful? And then he sees her magic, blackmails her, and Helga comes out of nowhere, sticks up for her sister, which is not the way that I thought this was going to go.
Yeah, I thought that was
Immediately sticks up for her sister.
Yeah, I'm glad it happened that way because it's like we know the Duke is actually a weasel. And I love just how she called him out. No.
She's like, thanks for showing me your true colors. I love that she believed her sister.
Do you think
so
she
quickly.
overheard some of it because she came out of the bushes kind of quick?
I think it was, she just knew, why would her sister do that? Her sister has seen, her sister has wanted her happiness her entire life. She was willing to leave her family so that her sisters could have a happy life without her. That's how selfless she is. So why would she kiss someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, why would she come on to someone?
Yeah, that her sister was interested in. So Helga sticks up for Ingrid, and the Duke ends up kind of attacking Helga, and then Ingrid accidentally freezes Helga instead of the Duke when this happened. And
Right to the heart.
that just happened so fast.
Yeah.
It did not take as much time as Maid Marian. It was literally 1 second she's frozen, doesn't even get to say goodbye.
And then she crumbled.
And then she
really
crumbled,
quick.
Yeah.
Super quick.
What happened?
You touched her and she crumbled.
She just was, and then she's gone.
So the aftermath of this is Gerda sees Helga dead, And I mean, when she was crumbled, it's like, how can you tell that that's your sister?
Yeah.
But she instantly turns on Ingrid, which kind of made me question Helga. Or, not Helga, Gerda. I know she's the youngest, but that still seems really naive to think that your sister did that on purpose.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting because Helga was like so supportive of her sister, and then we see the complete polar opposite with Gerda. I mean, I think it just makes the whole story make a complete turn, and I think they really executed that correctly.
Or was Gerda bad? Like, was she...
I think she was scared and young, and so she jumped to a quick conclusion of what she needed to do. But to me, it doesn't explain why Ingrid is so angry with both of her sisters, because you saw one sister, Helga, till her dying breath supporting and not fearing you in the way that she goes around talking about how, you know, your family's going to turn on you. They're going to turn on you. They always do. Only one of her sisters did.
It's because I feel like she had never done anything to hurt them. Her powers had been used to protect them in the past, and that's the only time they really saw them used. Or maybe there has been other times, but it's never hurt one of them or, you know, their friends or their family or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she saw her sister Gerda turn completely instantly to the person and to the people that she's always been afraid of. Like, if I expose my power and I hurt people, this is how people are going to react.
Which is kind of
and that's how Gerda reacted.
Weird, because that's exactly what Ingrid wanted. She wanted a failsafe so that if something did happen, she could be put in it and her family wouldn't, you know?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where her anger towards her family is really coming from, because she's the one who wanted that failsafe in case it got out of control.
That's why I think that Gerda is a bad egg.
Yeah.
Like, something happened.
There has to be more, right?
Yeah.
Because it just, in my head, it's not making sense that she's so angry that she's willing to do all these things to people she does not even know now to get her life back, and she's so bitter about things. And I'm like, well, you didn't even have time to be that angry, you know, before you got sucked in. I guess while she was in that bottle, she got real angry thinking about things.
Maybe there's another situation that we haven't seen yet that still causes her to still believe the same way that she does now.
Like I said, I don't think this is the end of their backstory. We're gonna definitely get more from the Snow Queen and her sisters, or at least from Gerda, since we won't be seeing much of Helga anymore. Unless it's a flashback.
Flashback to the flashback.
But yeah, Gerda goes to the rock trolls and asks for them to wipe the memories of the entire kingdom of Ingrid and Helga, and that's how we now know, or, you know, there was just one sister, or we think there was just one sister, or everyone does think that. Yeah.
Everyone in Arendelle and all the surrounding.
Do you think it's interesting how Gerda was a redhead and Ingrid was blonde, and also Helga was blonde? But I mean, if you think about Elsa and Anna, they're redhead blonde, and now Gerda and Ingrid are redhead and blonde. And so parallel.
Anna has that naivete to her.
Yeah. She does.
Uh-oh.
Watch out, girl.
It's too similar.
Like mother, like daughter. The rock troll also says, you know, all this will have a way of revealing itself. I will do it for you. No questions asked.
But the truth always has a way of coming out.
Yeah. Grandpappy's smart. And he's magical, too, so he can release those magic and those memories.
I wonder if he knows, though. I feel like he's just so smart that he knows what happened.
Probably.
But he'll still do it for them because he's, you know, that type of person. That
kind of rock.
That kind of
troll.
rock. He will be her rock. Flash forward to present day Storybrooke. Let's talk about Regina and Robin first.
Yes, let's do that. I wore
that was
red.
hot.
Yeah.
I wore red for Team Outlaw Queen. Yes.
Yes. So Regina, we're seeing this completely selfless side to her this season. For Marion, who is someone that she doesn't really like, and she tells Robin to never see her again and just forget about her. I'm surprised that they didn't go as far as using a potion or something. Like, that would be Regina. Like, just forget about me. Here's a potion so you can fall in love with your wife again. that never got to that point because I think she just wanted him to come
I don't
back.
think she
She
can
kept
do
saying that she's tried every potion, every spell, that there's nothing to reverse it yet.
But there is no spell for true love.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly they're just not each other's true love. They got married, but that doesn't mean we've seen in the past you can marry someone who's not your true love.
Sometimes you marry the wrong person.
Yeah.
That's why God created divorce.
So Robin, the unhappily married man, is in the bar actually talking to Will, and we were like, when are they going to interact? We finally got to see that.
Yeah, we did.
Will tells a story about, or Robin tells a story to Will about how Marion made him the man that he is today. Before, he was just a petty thief, and he was actually going to steal a horse from her family, her poor family, and then she kind of changed him. He came back the next day with 2 horses for the family, and that's how he became Robin Hood. He steals from the rich, gives to the poor, and then Will said to him, if it's true love, you fight though, and someone you'd ruin your entire life for is worth fighting for.
And when he said that, I was like, Regina!
Yes.
That's when you go back to Regina. Because,
That's when I was like, you go get your woman.
yes, talk about ruining your life. I mean,
my
your wife
God,
came
yeah.
back from the dead, and, you're dating the woman who captured her and
Yeah.
who was evil. Like, this is
What's your
ruining your
son gonna
life.
think?
He's ruining Regina's life.
Yeah, this is the definition of life ruining is happening right now.
Right now.
Do we think that Marion's gonna die, or is she going to get saved and then be vengeful?
Well, you know how there's that rumor that Walt Disney had himself frozen?
Yes.
Yeah,
that he
because
is
like
frozen.
on his deathbed,
Right,
until they have a
frozen,
cure. Maybe she can just live on in the vault as a frozen thing. She's not dead. She's not
they
alive.
said that it's slowly
But she took
it
out
just
her
slows
heart.
it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no
that's-
heart to stop.
Okay.
But Regina still has her heart, though.
Yeah, so that's
Regina could use that in any certain way. I don't think she would at this point because she is fairly good right now. I don't think she would sink that low just to get the love of her life back.
Yeah. Well, we
I
shall
think
see.
she's got him because that kiss
yeah.
was hot.
Hot down.
Yeah. I mean, this is right after Regina kind of opened up to Henry and was like, yeah, Robin's not in the picture anymore, but Operation Mongoose is still a go. She's like, I'll be ready for my happy ending next time it comes around.
Oh my gosh, that broke my heart.
So sweet.
Then Robin comes back and he's like, make out with me.
Yes. I was like, sweep her off her feet, Robin.
Yes.
Team Outlaw Queen Bee, still my heart.
They're my favorite couple right now.
I love them. I totally ship them.
Ship.
Ship them.
Ship with a
Yep.
P. So,
I said ship.
yes. Emma starts to feel like a monster during this episode. I mean, it all starts at the baby mommy and me class when Cinderella is like, oh yeah, first time moms be like, and
First of all,
Yeah.
I saw what you did there, Cathy. I saw what you did there.
and Emma's all like, nuh-uh, I'm her first time kid, and Cinderella's all like, oh, this is awkward now. And then Emma was like,
Well, it's cool. You didn't have a baby.
you didn't have
Yeah.
a baby, you just sent me in a wardrobe by myself.
Right.
But it's
And
all
it's, like,
cool.
super awkward.
Yeah,
I mean, Emma needs to really stop just being jealous. Get over it. I'm sorry. You're an adult.
it happens.
Move on.
But at the same time,
I get it. She's very sensitive and when it comes to family and whatnot, but how many times can she bring it up?
I would say, no.
You sent me in a wardrobe.
I think that it was easier for her to cope when there wasn't a baby in the picture. That's what it was.
Yeah.
She feels like she's being replaced. That's what it is.
And she's still trying to get used to having them there because she only recently started calling them mom and dad and not Mary, Margaret, and David.
Yeah.
So, it's still very new to her. And then all of a sudden now there's a new kid in the picture and everyone's moving forward and she still is bitter because she wanted that. That's
Yeah.
all she wanted in her childhood. That's 28 years of holding that in. It's not going to be gone in a week.
Do you think that her blood is boiling like the
Like the
baby
bottle?
bottle?
Like the bottle. What was she doing?
It was just
Yeah.
for magic.
It started to remind me of the Wicked Witch. and because, you know, it's like envy and, you know, jealousy, and I was like, ooh, Emma, you going down the slippery slope, girl.
Yep.
And people looking at you funky.
Yeah, well, your mother is. That that actually hurt my heart when Mary Margaret, like, took Neil back and was like, no, you can't hold my baby now.
Right. I mean, I felt like Mary Margaret should be like, Emma, what's wrong? What can I do to help you? Not be like, don't touch my son.
Well, maternal reaction.
I get that.
Yeah, but
I think that's the other upsetting thing. The maternal reaction, Emma is your daughter too. So where was the maternal of like, oh my gosh, something's wrong with my daughter.
Yeah.
I need to be there for her, instead of just like...
Snow recognized the error of her ways later on in the episode.
Yeah.
It just took her a little bit.
Too late though.
Yeah, it was a little too late.
Also, shout out to the baby that was dressed up like Mickey Mouse in the background at that class, because I loved it.
That was awesome.
I mean, we saw
squealed.
everyone. We saw
It was cute.
Sarah Bolger is back on the
Aurora was
show.
there.
Cinderella and Aurora. They
What
all
was
have
with
babies
that
now.
nursery song that they were singing? Goodbye, Neil.
No,
And
that's a normal goodbye. Like, it's a mommy and me class thing, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
it's
from
like
all the kids that I have, I know.
Yeah, it's like they say bye to all the kids in the class.
Yeah.
Apparently, I haven't been in those classes.
Goodbye, Neil.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. Goodbye,
So
Phil.
this just sets the tone for the rest of the episode, and I think the rest of the season, or at least this half of the season, Emma starts to feel like a monster, and the Snow Queen is the one that's kind of making her feel that way, just by manipulating everyone else around her. The Snow Queen hides a fake mirror in the clock tower to essentially distract Elsa, David, Hook, and get Emma alone eventually in the sheriff's office. It's too late before they realize that it's a fake, because none of them are seeing the worst in themselves. Hook is like, I still look good.
I love that.
Yeah, but it seemed way too easy to capture her. We're all like, what? There's
I wrote
something.
that down. As soon as Emma did the whole little I'm blowing on a candle thing, I was like, too easy, question mark? No one's concerned.
And I think our last after show, we were like, how can the Snow Queen have everyone look into the same mirror? And there you go.
I was like,
Shadow
using the
pieces, yeah.
clock would
I mean,
actually really smart.
I guess that the clock is just a great place to keep all your prized possessions.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I'm going to start storing all my money, so I'm going to find a clock tower.
Thanks for letting me know.
I didn't tell you which one.
The one clock tower. Okay.
So the Snow Queen gets Emma alone, and she starts putting these ideas in her head. You know, I am you. Haven't you ever seen your family just kind of doubt you for a second, see the fear in their eyes? And it just escalates and escalates, and then finally Emma just uses, like, she can't even control her powers, blows an entire thing through the wall. And the Snow Queen is like, my work here is done, and makes the cops evaporate and just disappears.
She's like, that was easy.
Yep.
I mean, it was
Too
her plan.
easy.
It was her plan all along. She told Emma at the beginning of it, by the end of the day, you'll release me. And Emma kind of did that.
She released herself.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was getting mad at Emma because, you know, when Elsa was there, she was telling Elsa, don't let her get in your head. You're letting your emotions get into this. And then, I mean, Emma was left alone with her, and then she kind of started letting her get into her head, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was sad for Emma, but, I mean, a lot of it was kind of true. You know, she'd just gone through the experience of having her own mother look at her with fear instead of with, like, hey, I love you.
You're right. And it all just goes down to show, you know, your powers are based on your emotions, and it's really like a Charmed related reference there. But because we see Emma, she's angry, she boils the bottle, and now she's scared and she's blowing things up. So she needs that control. But it's really smart how Snow Queen's actually playing it as like, yeah, slowly you'll start to understand, and you're going to be coming to me, not to your family. You're going to be coming to me to questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when Emma hit that light pole and it was coming down, did you guys see that David saved Hook?
Yeah.
That he pushed Hook out of the way because he wants his daughter with Hook. Hooker for life!
He wants his daughter to be happy.
He wants his daughter to be happy, and he was willing
Or
to
David was
sacrifice.
just too chivalrous, and he was like,
I didn't
no, I'm going
see-
to save anybody.
I didn't
Just
see the
happened to be
fear in
Hook.
David's eyes. I only saw it
I
in
only
Snow.
saw it in
Yeah.
Snows. And that's what I think hurts the most is, you know, it's like, that's
This is
your
your
mom.
mother.
Yeah, and it was also the way she reacted was not the best.
She was like, Emma. as opposed to, oh my gosh, like...
Exactly.
But that was kind of that Emma was very, like, mom, like, when you're doing something wrong and you know it, and your mom catches
when you get too close to the stove.
Yeah, you're like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Like, that was a good Emma.
Yeah.
But again, you know, a second too late.
And I think that the Snow Queen was also, when they were in the cell, harping on the fact that even though Emma doesn't have these memories of her growing up in the foster home because the Snow Queen erased them or somehow they got erased, she was still there. She's like, I know about your superpower. You told me about it when you were a kid. Like, kind of being like, I was the mother that didn't give you up. I was there for you. I was your family.
I want to know what happened so bad in their past. I just need to know why Emma ended up not staying in that foster home, what happened in that year she was there, why they were so close. Like, I need to know that already.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
And that's how everyone feels.
Yeah, like, I'm done waiting. I need to know. Next episode, if it's not revealed.
But the question is, like, what else does she know about Emma then? If she knows, like, yes, your superpower said you can tell people who's lying, but it's like, what else does she know about Emma?
She's been a step ahead of everyone this entire time, so she clearly knows enough. So, I mean, that was just heartbreaking to see the fear in Mary Margaret's eyes, and then Emma just being so completely hurt by it. Obviously, that's just going to send her into a spiral, it seems like, next episode, which... hopefully Henry can get her out of it. He's been used so sparingly this entire season. He was in it for maybe a second, working for Rumple and then talking to Regina. She's like, why are you in a suit? I'm getting married, Mom.
Sweeping the shop twice. I'm like, yeah, because you're a terrible sweeper.
Sweeping the shop. But then he says, I'm going to go work for Grandpa today. And he goes and he works for Rumpelstiltskin. And Rumple says, I have something for you. It can turn something old into something new. Furniture polish.
That was great.
That was great. And then we never saw him again.
Nope, that was it.
And I was like, wait, I thought you told your mom you knew where in the shop to look for a clue about the writer of the books. I thought we were going to get some of that going today. And
it's getting closer to magic, though.
Yeah.
And Rumple just seems like he's going to go full out evil soon.
Based on what the Snow Queen is saying his plan is, yeah. Taking over, like, our world now? Rumple, you need to calm yourself, pump the brakes.
I want to know what she whispered to him. I mean, so she got her ribbons back, and he said whatever she asked for in return, he said he would do gladly.
The way he said that, it makes me feel like he has to, like, kill his worst enemy or something, and I started getting concerned for Captain Hook.
Yeah, or kill someone that he has, or someone has out for him. So, yeah.
I mean, it's Once Upon a Time. We know there's going to be a death. Oh, if it is Hook, that makes sense because she wants to cut off everything from...
Yeah. You see why I started getting nervous for my boyfriend? Yeah.
Your boyfriend?
Yeah, my boyfriend.
Emma's boyfriend. Awkward.
I'm letting her borrow him for a minute.
Awkward. Overall, this was a great episode of Once. I think that it progressed the storyline. We still have so many questions that we want answered, even more so, I think, this episode. Do we have any news? Okay, cool.
My only news is don't forget next week is a 2-hour episode.
Oh, wow,
it starts at 7 p.m. and I will be sitting down ready for it.
That is going to be a long one.
It's going to be a long one. It looks action-packed, so.
Very excited for it.
All I'm saying.
And revealing.
Okay. So I guess that brings us to predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right. Well, I think that we've already decided Rumple's going to go back to being the dark one. Which I think I'm excited to see, but mostly I feel bad for Belle because she thought she changed him, and clearly she didn't. And
that just
sucks.
shows that you can't change people sometimes.
But sometimes you can. Look at Captain Hook and Emma. They're doing really good.
Yeah.
For now.
Look at Regina and Robin Hood.
I know, they're doing good for now.
Although Marion was the one that changed him, so...
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But Regina's the one that's keeping him the way that he is.
I'm talking about Regina, who's changed, guys.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
that is
she was
true.
the
But
evil queen.
Henry was the one that
true.
changed him. So... She could always change back, too.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We saw her almost go to the dark side already.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Maid Marian, you're cool and all, but damn, that kiss was hot. I can't get over that. That was so good.
Yeah.
Anyways, we are very excited for the 2-hour episode next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please leave us comments. We love reading your predictions on YouTube.
You guys are amazing.
Subscribe to us on iTunes. Rate us on there. We'd love to hear your feedback. And then always interact with us on social media. Where can they find you guys?
Twitter and Instagram at the Tiona Hobson.
And you can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Serafini TV.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley. You can find me on Instagram at Cathy Kelley. You can find all of us here on Twitter and Instagram at AFTERBUZZ TV. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this after show, and we will see you again next week for the 2-hour episode.
Woo!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.